And don't try to make a girl like you. Find out if a girl likes you. Every time in life, there's always going to be seed and fruit. So if you are at seed stage, you now have girlfriend, you're not spending your seed on the girl. What's now?
Guys will give you the impression that it's fruits they are spending.
You can't even ball any girl on seeds. You can only ball girls on fruits, like profits.
In a bid to impress you or whatever, he's now spending his seed.
You can meet a girl and say, girl, I like you, but we can't make a relationship. Clear. So that even you can be like.
You are listening to Off Script with Dr. Ayo.
Hello and welcome to the show where street meets soul, gist meets grit, and both the host and guest love to yap a lot. Hello, Dr. Ayo. Welcome again.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's been a while.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be back.
Right? So you're on with Off Script with Dr. Ayo. Dr. Ayo, have you been?
I'm doing life. That's what everybody's doing, right?
That's what everybody's doing.
That's
And
right.
it's becoming more difficult too. I don't know if it's just me,
It's a lie.
but I feel like it's
Oh.
becoming.
So I have to be careful by saying it's a lie.
Ah.
Because some people will not come for me.
I want them to come for you because it's like this economy is not reaching you. That's what I know. But I just feel like it's a lot more difficult to, to get where you want to be now. Is it just me or it's so difficult to get out of poverty these days?
So I have to say two things. One, I have to say that no matter what I say, you will think that you're always going to think it is easier said than done.
Of course.
Yeah. So I want to put that out of the way. No matter how much you feel that it is easier said than done, you have to know that it is doable. Right? And so if people have done it, then you can do it, right? Good. Out of the way. Yes, it is difficult because poverty is a living thing. Yeah,
okay.
people think that poverty is so, I don't want to even make it spiritual, but
feel free.
no. I mean, maybe if you ask me something spiritual, maybe, but I don't even want to make it spiritual. But people will tell you that there is a spirit of poverty. You don't need to believe them, right? You don't need to believe them, all right? But you have a laptop, right? Your laptop has an operating system. Now, you would be mad or foolish to disregard the operating system of your laptop because that is by how your laptop works. That is how when you type letter H appears on your screen. It's a whole operating system. So intrinsically, your laptop is a living, inanimate object because it is able to redo the same thing. You put it on, it's on. You put it off, it goes up. So it's able. So it's alive in a way. Maybe not conscious as to sentience, but it's alive.
Of course.
Exactly. So not to sound spiritual, that's why I use the laptop example. So imagine that there is an operating system for poverty. So there's something that makes sure that poverty exists, insists, persists.
Is it like predestined or
No. It's just operating system. Like, so there is how you make sure you are in there. And then there is how you can get out. Do you understand?
Very interesting.
Good. So if you say, is it difficult or why is it difficult? So my answer is yes, it's difficult because there is a whole setup that is making it work, that is making poverty to continue to work, continue to perpetuate, right? So now, you're not going to get out of it. If it was something that nothing was making work, then you can just get out of it. But if it is something that something is making work, you're not just going to get out of it. You have to think about it like maybe you join a cult. Maybe you're a witch. You now say you're not doing it again. You now say, yeah. If you start to think about it like that, it becomes you are better awake to the matter. And I will explain it. So imagine that it's like that. You say, nah, I suddenly have conscience. I don't want to be killing people's babies anymore. You say, hey,
who's this one?
are you
signed up for
you should get?
Yeah.
And then they're not. Then it's now war to live. If you start to think about poverty like that, then you understand that yes, you can get out, but it's not difficult. I mean, it's difficult. So, Yoruba adage, they will say, Ojúbọ̀rọ̀ ò gba ọmọ lọ́wọ́ èkùrọ́. Or they will say, Ojúbọ̀rọ̀ kan náà fi ń gba ọmọ lọ́wọ́ èkùrọ́. Èkùrọ́ is palm kernel nut, right? Palm kernel, palm is where you get palm oil, yeah. And then when you scrape that shaft where that has oil, there's this hard core, and then you can crack it open, and then there's a nut inside. Yeah, it's off-white color, black outing. We have a lot when we were growing up. It was fun, right? You just crack it, eat it. Now, this is the thing. It's pretty addictive for children. Yeah. It's just it's just I mean, alcohol is beer is bitter now. People are addicted to alcohol. So so it's just, I don't think addiction has anything to do with whether it's sweet or not, It's just there. It has this milky thing when you eat it, and then you can spit out the shaft, But I think parents don't like because it can predispose you to coughing or something like that. It's plenty of shaft, so that kind of thing. So you don't want your children to be cracking palm kernels nuts all over the place, and they're coughing and they don't want to leave it. So Yoruba says that so you don't have to say stop cracking palm kernel and then they stop. No, you have to go extra length to rescue your son from the hands of palm kernel. That's all it means. Yeah. So that's poverty. Now, so it takes a particular necessary violence to get out of poverty.
I like that.
Maybe not you, but a lot of people have wicked uncles. The uncles who are rich and do not send family. So the first thing that happens, generally, I'm just talking generally now because, I wish I would put this in a sequence, but I don't want to put it in a sequence. I just want people to be able to relate and get it. So you have this very wicked uncle. Out of your mom's or your daddy's 8 siblings, he's the only one that has money. He's the only one that's also not relatable. Like, he's the only one that is just aloof there. And then you're thinking, what's wrong with him? It's because he has money. So the first thing that happens is that once you're in poverty, the thing or the people that you naturally dislike are the people that have money.
So you're jealous.
Of course, so you're jealous. So you don't like them. So whatever they do, you feel that they are looking down on you. You feel they are proud. You don't pause to say, this is the person I want to be like.
Yeah.
So this is the person I should like.
You should even ask them pointers.
And just be, no. And you don't even see it. It does not come to you like, look, my uncle, out of his mom's 7 children, he's the only one who has money. You don't think he must have done something right. He must know something that the others don't. That's not the first thing that comes to mind. The first thing that comes to mind is, why is he feeling like that? Why he does not pick his call? Why doesn't he do that?
Okay, can I just say that I support the uncle in this situation, because if you should be picking people's calls, not you, but the black tax he will pay will be too serious.
Look, you're right. But it's not even. It's the fact that they think he's wrong. That's even the thing. So it's not. It goes beyond even. Yeah. So now you don't like him, but you don't think that maybe he just understood some things that you did not understand. You don't person like that. Now, my point there is that you already kept in the loop where you are unable to attract the things that you think you like. If you really like something, you move close to it. You don't push the thing you like away under normal circumstances. If you love a lady, you want to love the lady. You don't want to push the lady. So it's just basic logic. So you like money, but you're pushing the guy in your family who has money away mentally. So how, and this is where it gets interesting. You will now notice, I'm sure a lot of you can relate. You now notice, say, okay, so you now hated your uncle for 15 years, and then you now swore to yourself, I am going to make it. I am going to make it.
Nigerian food.
Yeah, and then you now start to make it. Once you start to make it, you immediately start to understand your uncle.
Yeah.
And it gets more interesting because then your uncle now call you and say, Jide, what's up? Are you around? When are you able to come to Abuja? Why? Because by your results, your uncle now know that you now understood or understand the things that you and your mommy and your other uncles and other did not understand. So they now pick you out. And they now single you out. And then when you now talk to him, you now realize, okay, he was just smarter. He just understood. He was just able to focus.
So where was the violence part in all this? Like, what was that violence that you were supposed to use to get out of poverty?
So, very good question. There is something called compounding. There's something called compounding, right? So, if you have 10 naira and you're able to not spend the 10 naira, and 10 naira gives you 10% in a year, becomes 11 naira. If you do that in 12 years, you will not believe that you started with 10 naira. It's just the way it is in everything. But the problem is, you're never going to be able to hold the 10 naira. Why? Because there's a lot of poor people or poor things or things that you have to do around you that looks like you're poor. That looks like you have to do it. So now your uncle is not answering you, and then you're all angry with your uncle. And then you now got your own first job. Right? And say in contemporary Nigeria, they're now paying you 250,000 naira. That is not bad money. It's also not good money.
I think a large part of the population would disagree, but yeah.
Okay, please. We need to be relatable. Is it good money?
Depends on your level anyway and qualifications.
No,
and all
not that.
that, but at least no.
No,
But
in general terms, what's minimum wage? Minimum wage is up to 70-something thousand.
think
Exactly now.
okay.
Exactly
Yeah.
now. So if you
Okay.
so if you are taking 250, that's almost 4 times minimum wage.
Exactly.
So
Livable.
so in that context, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's going to be enough because that's even my
Yeah.
point. So it's not bad.
Money is never going to be enough.
Yeah. So it's not bad, but it's not good, right? Good. Now, you now have to decide whether you want to multiply the 250,000 naira or not.
Okay.
So this is where it gets violent. Now you have the mom, and you have siblings, and you have a dad, and you are the first person who has gotten 250,000 naira.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. You are not only in trouble, you are in poverty. You are never going to get out. So in this scenario, the first violence there is you color for everybody. You have to color for everybody. You don't color for everybody, the 250,000 naira does not become anything in your life. And this is where it gets interesting. Do you know that typically as a young person, tools, when I say tools, subscription tools, whatever it is, whether you are using ChatGPT, whether you are using Zoom, whether you're using, I don't know, Google One, whatever, paid subscription make your life better. They give you access to more things.
I refuse to pay for subscriptions.
Oh.
For one. Only Apple Music. Oh my. Okay.
Oh, look at you.
See,
So you pay for Happy Music. Anyways, no problem. I'm glad you shall pay for something. Yeah. I don't know why you pay for Happy Music, but I'm glad
I
you
need
pay.
it for my sanity.
Good.
Yeah.
So there are tools for your sanity, and then there are tools for your wealth. They are called productivity tools. Now, you will get by with free. The people who made the tools know that people can get by with free. But do you just want to get by, or you want to get out of poverty? My example here is not even about the tools. It was just an example. So now you have 250,000 naira. Tools will cost you 150,000 naira per month. Dollars. That's just $100. That's just $100. If some tools are $30 per month, $20.
Which money you like to pay my rent? Which money you like?
That's where I'm.
eat?
God bless you. So now, if you don't think critically, if you do not think critically, you are going to be stuck at food.
Food is life.
Yeah. And then poverty is now the other life. So my point is, so now you have that,
Yeah.
and you have 250,000 naira. You have to make a choice, and it's not an easy choice.
Yeah.
So you can. Let me give you a personal example. We are all children. Obviously, nobody fell from a tree. We all have parents. God bless our parents because spare their lives and all of that.
Amen.
So I remember that I was done serving. My mom was still working. She has a husband. She had a husband. She has a husband. So it's not like. But I know that there's just an expectation of when their children start to work. So I called her. I'm serious. I called her and I said, Mom, you will think that I'm done serving now. And because when I was serving, I had money, so I was sending her money because
You had money when you were serving.
and now they paid us MSS now. At that time when they were paying other coming back. No, when they were paying other coming back 5,000, we were paying 98,600. Yeah, and dollar was still about $120 naira to a dollar or something like that. So yeah, somewhere around that range. Yeah. So yeah, so 95,000 naira. I could rent a 3-bedroom flat from. So anyways,
It's going to
so
transport.
my point was, so because I was serving, I was not planning to save my service money. So I was able to just send the money and but when I was not done serving, I knew that now let's go and do life now. So I knew that to go and do life now, she should not see anything, she should not see shishi. So I called her, I said, you think that now I'm done serving, that means that you are going to start enjoying. You have not started any enjoyment, too. Your enjoyment has not started at all. This is the beginning. Now, that may sound dramatic, but I was aware enough to know that that was a necessary conversation to have with her.
Yeah. You're smart.
So because of that, if I gave her 10 naira, she appreciated it because I already said that I don't expect anything.
Pay for it.
Nothing, no, because now we just start. So I told her that obviously you won't have to worry about me, obviously. But I also don't want to worry about you. Don't think that I'm going to send you money. Now, that's tough. But I needed it. So if you earn 250,000 naira and you feel that you have to be a good person, you're going to be poor. Look, let me tell you, they say it, and then people don't like it.
I don't like it. Let me just be one of
The
the people.
two of us, three of us, all of us cannot be in a pit. If it is deep enough, you're not getting out. The only person who can get us out is somebody who is out there. And I don't even want to make it spiritual. I keep saying I don't want to make it spiritual. God is not stupid. At least you have to, if you are religious, you should be able to know that God is omnipotent, omniscient, knowing, all knowing. So therefore, not stupid, right? Okay. So if you agree that God is not stupid, why did God, is either God knew Moses was going to be the one who leads the Israelite out, or God chose him as an aftermath or after effect, whichever it is. Moses was the only one who was not a slave. Because God knew that it is not about getting them out of Egypt physically. It's a mental journey. So the person who has not been out cannot take them out.
Of course.
Yeah. So if you don't reverse engineer, so you are poor. The first thing to know when you are poor is that I am not thinking right. That's awareness. So, how do I think right? No problem. Don't worry. First, know that you're not thinking right, because if you are thinking right, you should not be poor. If you are thinking right, process. You should be able to know, now. So when you are going to become rich, there's first, they say it sounds cliche, and I don't like cliches, but sometimes it's just true. You have to first get out of the poverty mentally before you get out of it physically. When you are out of poverty mentally, you will know. You may still be wearing the same one sneakers, the same shorts. You will just know. You will know. People around will laugh at you and call you crazy, but usually you always prove them wrong eventually if you stay the course, right? All right. So you know that you are aware I'm not thinking right. Otherwise, I will not be stuck in this circle of poverty. So how do you think? How should you think? Think like other people who have made money, like your uncle, who does not.
A wicked uncle.
Yes. So now you have to be that wicked too.
Okay, so I don't think I will agree with you.
No, yeah.
This one.
I know.
But I just think that if you're saying, you talking about not being a good person,
Yeah.
like you have to now let go of that idea of, okay, everybody has to love you, or I associate that with maybe saying, okay, philanthropy. I should not go and be dashing people money. But you saying that you should basically go the people that got you, your parents, your family, because I understand what you're saying. You need to the violence. You need to violence to get out of poverty.
I'm your son.
Be me.
So assume that I'm your son. Imagine I'm your son.
Yeah.
And I come to you with a proposition. And I say, Mom, I can give you, from my salary, I can give you 20,000 naira every month. I can even draw you my expenses. This is my transport, this is my this is my that, this is my this. So I even say, you are able to give me 20,000 naira? I say, yes, Mommy, I love you that much. I can continue to give you
You're
that.
making 250.
I'm just saying, how much do you want, my mommy? How much?
100. But let me just refer be 20. Go.
I'm sure people watching this are like, Mommy, yeah, totally wicked. Anyways, how much transport fare to work? I have to eat.
But do you know that a lot
Later.
of people, okay, I feel that there is a place of semi-privilege in this poverty. Like, okay, not privilege per se, but you know the way there is lower class, middle class, that whole social strata thing. So I'm thinking there are people who I've actually met people, like I've met this senior doctor who said that the whole reason he studied medicine is because he wanted to take his family out of poverty. He had zero interest in medicine. And that was then when, okay, being a doctor was still something financially, unlike now. But I'm just saying, that was his own motivation.
So he went to study for 6+ years.
Yes, now you know those people that would be saying I'm
Good.
drinking Gary in
So
school.
why didn't he say, I want to get them out of poverty? Let me just take a walk. Let me just take a menial job now because they will feed now. Why did you have to put them through 6 years?
The menial job may
Because
just give-
that's the point. That's my point. So
Okay.
so if I come to you and say, Mommy, this is my proposition. This salary, I'm going to give you 20,000 out of my salary every month. I will do that for as long as I have a salary. Or
Okay.
let me take 2 years and save, invest in tools, save, learn, get high income skills, apply for more, and give me 2 years to start earning 1 million naira, and I will be able to give you 100,000 naira every month. Which would you pick?
That's why I said it depends on what class you are. If I don't know where tomorrow's lunch is coming from, why would I pick the 20K?
So, am I the one supposed to be responsible for your lunch, even as my mother?
I'm just saying there are families they are actually really keen to become the breadwinner.
I'm saying
That's
reality. I'm saying don't win anybody's bread.
win bread for only yourself.
Yeah.
You would be the wicked uncle in a Nigerian movie.
Do you want to? I mean, eventually, let me tell you, you see those wicked uncles, is a lie. Eventually, when they come for the family meeting, they are still the ones everybody differs to.
Because they have money.
Good. So decide whether you want to be the useless people who talk about the wicked uncle, or you want to be the wicked uncle who so wicked uncle, has the wicked uncle ever give you money that you now say, no, I don't want your money because you're wicked? It's never happened. It will never happen.
Well,
Yeah. And you know the funny thing, let me tell you, people have short memories. See, when your uncle now calls you and say, Martha, I now see that you are showing promise. Okay, take my card. Go and give my friend in Total. I've already spoken with him. And then you now go and see the friend. And then you now saw that it was top Oga. I don't even know how to say this. So one time, you have this thing, SCUM, that's anti-money laundry certificate that you get from EFCC.
Oh.
Yeah. So one time, I had this person who introduced me to this person, and this person said, "Do you know the person you introduced to?" I was like, "No." It's like, "So you don't go and Google people?" I was like, "Well, I don't plan to cheat people, so I don't see any reason to go and Google them. I don't think they are going to cheat me, so I just think we are fine." So, just like she do that. So it's like that's a whole regional head of EFCC. So then, wow, that's interesting. And so one time I wanted to do something, and then I told somebody to go. So I called him and I've had a relationship with him, so I knew that I could call him. I don't call him because but this time I say, and then so when this person was going, and he was like, when he was mentioning him at the gate, we were just opening the gate, bam, bam, bam. So this guy came back and said, doctor, where did you know that person from? So your uncle now gives you now realize that that's how they was opening the door. So this was Oga Patapata, some Oga in Total. I say, oh, you are, that's it. You are your niece. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Yeah, what did he say? He says, okay, oh, good. All right. Oh, wait. And then press the intercom and say, blah, 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 blah. Somebody comes and then, papa, you don't have a job. Now I'm paying you 1.5 million naira monthly to start. Do you think that your uncle is now a bad person or a good person? That's the best. Now, that's the best uncle. So, do you want to be that uncle who can lift people out of poverty, literally? Or the one who sits around and says, look at all of us, we are just poor, but we are together? Which one do you want to be? Yeah.
If you say that's what you want to do to your mommy, that's fine. But yeah, I know, for real.
Tell that to her. That space is.
I will leave that.
No.
Because
Do you know what? You know what's interesting? So yesterday I woke up and I thought, let me send money to this woman. And I sent someone, and And then she called me. And then she prayed for me. That prayer was sweet. I'm sure she has forgotten that I said that some years ago. I said, "Mommy, you just leave me." She said, yeah.
She had money to eat. But yeah, no, that's beautiful. I didn't need to take away from your message.
No. I agree
I
with you.
really
Look,
understand.
to be honest, you are right. Do you see? You know, the first time I said, like, when I say it now, you say, yeah, it's easier said than done. Look, there are excuses or reasons that are good enough to keep you in poverty. Do you want them?
No. Okay. Fine. I concede. But yeah. No. This is actually something, like, it really taught me something today. And yeah, I think applying that really makes a lot of sense. But I know you've been saying you don't want to go spiritual.
Yeah.
That's fine. But you've been going spiritual with style. So I'm just going to ask, do you think prayer can play a role in getting you out of poverty?
Yes. But not the way people think.
Okay.
Not the way people think. Okay, first of all, prayer alone cannot get you out of poverty. It has to be prayer and you being able to identify the answers to the prayer. So it means that it's always going to mean that there's going to be the part that your intellect plays. I don't even know how to say this. With you, if you're praying to get out of poverty, what would the prayer points be?
Lord, get me out of this poverty right now. I need job pay me 3 million naira monthly. Amen. Thank you.
Okay. So how does 3 million naira job comes? Do you know how 3 million naira job comes?
I will apply for the job.
It comes. That's how you apply for it.
My rich uncle will call me and tell me he has something for me.
Your rich uncle is not going to call you if you've not shown value, and that's my exact point. So if you're looking for 3 million naira job, it means that you are able to deploy 10 million naira value. Nobody's going to. No, people will always cheat you,
Yeah.
and you have to be okay with that. Oh yeah, you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that. If people don't cheat you, you don't make progress. When I say cheat, there's legitimate cheating, and then there's the one that that's so wicked. Legitimate is you start a company, it is not an NGO, it's for profit. Good. It means that every step of the way you have to be profiting until it gets to proper financial cash profit in your account. But you start to profit every step of the way. So this is what it means. The person who you are going to employ and pay 200,000 naira is coming to your company to give value of 1 million naira. So there's already 800,000 naira profit there. Value. You don't see it because it's not fiscal money. You don't say, oh, so I saw you with I saw you with extra 800,000 every month. No. But as a CEO, you have to know that. You either know it properly or you know it instinctively. You don't know it, you're not being in a company. Just forget it. Yeah, you're just playing. Right? And so when people say value your employees, they're coming from that place. Value because not that they're giving you more than you're paying them. Right? Good. But if you go and employ somebody that is giving you less than you are paying, you are running at loss. Even when you don't see physically first. Good. So you want a 3 million naira job. Do you have 10 million naira value monthly? So when you now have it, you can pray. But let's say you don't have it. No. So let's say you don't have it because, let's be practical. So you don't have it. So you're praying. Good. I'm not talking about you, you're going. So when you now go pray, the answer to that prayer is that you now start to feel prompting of personal improvement, personal development, wanting to pick up a skill, wanting to do this. So maybe photography has never appealed to you, and then photography started appealing to you. That's God answering you, but you don't know. So you kept praying. I want the 3 million naira job. I want the 3 million naira job. You are not going to get the 3 million naira job because the way you're going to get the 3 million job is to have 10 million naira worth of value.
So you need the prayer is helping you to get
So
that value.
yeah, so the prayer will change you. That's what prayer does first. People think, okay, since it should be spiritual part of the whole thing, right? So a Bible passage will say, we behold. As we behold him, we become. So it means that in the space where you are praying, looking to God, God does not change, you change. you change. That's how your prayers get answered. So if you are praying and you don't change, it's either God is not listening to you, whereas God listens. So it means that God is changing you. You are saying no, no, and then you keep praying. God is really wonderful. God is. I'm God. I'll be flogging people. Oh, yeah. So
This related to that thing where they say prayer without works is dead.
faith without works is dead. Prayer without faith is dead. Because
That's
faith,
what's in the Bible.
no, yeah, that's what's in the Bible, really.
Okay.
That's in the Bible. Mark 11:23,
You are Bible
22.
scholar.
Yeah, so so you have to have faith. Yeah, obviously. But the point is, so you don't even, so the faith that you're coming with, is it alive? How is it alive? Because there's work. So when you say prayer needs work, I agree with you. Yeah, so prayer needs faith, faith needs work. So it means that prayer needs work, right? So there's a path that you must do. Now, because I want people to get this. So now it sounds like, doctor, you're just a very horrible human being. So yeah, say you are praying. So you now have 10 million naira value. And you just couldn't find the work, right? So now you are praying. So again, possible ways that God answers you is that God now start to remind you of your friend for university that you have not spoken to in a while.
Okay.
So you don't know why you just suddenly feel like, Martha that we were in school together, Martha that we were in school together. You don't know. But you prayed in the morning. So you're not sensitive.
I would actually never connect those dots, to be honest.
Amazing. That's the thing, right? So you're feeling, so you should know that me normally, I'm not used to remember matter now. So now that I'm now suddenly remember matter, then there's something about it. So now you now call matter. Because you just feel like calling matter, now you call matter. And then I say, hey, what's up? Yes, I'm fine. So you now say, what are you doing? You now lied, I'm fine.
Knowing you're dying.
You get another, so God answered your prayer, you started to use the answer. Halfway now, you've thrown the answer away now because you've like.
Because I don't want to disturb the person like, oh, so this is why you told me now.
Yeah, but you can say, so you say, ask me now, how are you?
How are you?
I say, do you want the truth? I know I can ask you now. I can say, do you want the truth? And then you can say, oh yeah, now. Say, for you. I don't know. I have so much value, and I'm not getting the kind of jobs that I know I deserve. Just
I like that
oh,
answer.
clear you now. So it's not just prayer. It's also that your head has to be correct. So if you started praying before your head was correct, so what God will first do is to correct your head, so that you can find the answer. Oh, so now, so you want a car because you want to drive to work, and then you ask me, I'm going to first send you to driving school because I'm not a stupid God. You can't drive, or you have no experience driving, and I give you a car, then you're not going to die. So how's that an answer prayer? So let's assume that, back to the story. So, or to the scenario. So you now say, oh, do you want the truth? And I say, and you say, yeah. And I say, I have 10 million worth of value to give. I'm not getting 3 million job. I feel that I know I don't deserve less than 3 million per month. And then you say, and then she'll probably say, how it plays in life. I say, okay, yeah, don't worry. You have done what God wants you to do. You remember matter, and now you have called her, right? So this is what happens. One time, in that same week, possibly, this is how this thing happened, and people just don't know. So Martha will now go and hang out with Martha's friends. And randomly, they will now say they are employing in one company. Martha will now just hear. Now, Martha will now remember me because I called Martha that week. So now I'm on Martha's mind. I'm not in the recess of her mind. Now I've brought myself up in her mind. So now Martha say, oh, and I say, Ayo, did you say you have something? Say that I apply somewhere. And then I will now apply and I will not get the job. I'm telling you, I have seen this happen. Let me give you an example. I have an uncle. He's successful, retired in Shell as a top manager. So that's not bad. So me I now ask him now. I say, what was your experience about life? So I was like, oh, very funny stuff. So I was like, what? I was like, you say, you know what? I went to Belgium to do masters. I got a scholarship, so I went to Belgium masters. So when I got to Belgium, I saw that. So I saw the curriculum. I saw that there was a turbine engineering, master's in turbine engineering or something like that. And I was like, turbine engineering. Okay, maybe I should do it. So now I went to the school authority and say, I want to do second masters. I want to do it together.
Wow.
Oh yeah. So he now said that they now say, what if you fail? We are not just for your failures. I said, no, I said, no. Cut long story short, he now did the masters. So he now did 2 masters. In fact, he told me that he didn't even pay for the second one because there was no provision for that. They did not even know how to bill him for it. It never happened before in Israel. So how will you come and say you want to do the second master? So they did not even remember to ask him for the money. If I went enough, he just said, just go. Like, like because
Take your
yeah, because it was like too much experiment for them. Like, what if you now face? What if, why did you allow you to even do it? Right? So he told me. So when he got back to Nigeria, there was an interview in Nepal. Then he went, they gave him the job because of that turbine, that master's in turbine. The one in Shell that he now, they gave him that. And there was another one they gave him. So all the reasons he applied for a job, they gave him because of that. So typically, he was a Christian, he's a Christian. He's been praying.
Yeah.
Now, he got there, something told him, something jumped at him with the turbine, and then he did it. And then it became the answer to prayer. So I can give you examples on examples. That is how it works. A nudging inside you.
So you just have to trust that that's
If you are praying,
okay.
be sensitive. Abi, don't.
What's
I don't want to say this one because if you are praying, let it be correct. The one that came to my mind, if I say it, it will be very harsh.
I think that makes a lot of sense, and thank you for that, by the way. But I think you've given us a lot of advice, with the violence, with how to channel it spiritually as well.
Hold your question.
So
Sorry, hold your question. No, don't forget your question. Because when I say violence, look, we agreed somewhere in this show that God is not stupid, right? Okay. I believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Yeah. There is no religion in the world that doesn't respect Jesus. Buddhism, anything is, so no problem. So we can all agree that Jesus was wise. We can disagree, he's not the Son of God, Jesus, no problem. But we can agree that he had sense. Okay. So Jesus said, from the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom of God has now suffers violence. The violent takes it by force. If Jesus said that, you now do not know that your life you have to be violent with your life. Now, it's either you think Jesus is stupid or you are stupid. It can't be, it has to be the two of them. I mean, one of them. Yeah. So the question.
okay, here's my question. Okay, thank you. And I think that puts it into perspective. But I just want to know how we can practically, just quickly, apply this in, our street level. We're not at the level to do turbine engineering masters. Just
Okay, so I like the fact that in life, both Christians and non-Christians, Muslims, atheists, anybody, people succeed. I like that.
yeah.
I like that. So it means that success, the principles for success are just on the streets. They're just there because it's just there for anybody to pick. When it rains, God doesn't say, this matter, sinner, don't rain on that house. Yeah, even the Bible says it. It says, when I rain, it just rain on everybody. So it means that the things that God has created, they're just there for anybody to pick. The difference is some people pay attention, some people don't pay attention. Do you remember that girl or that guy in your class who was just fantastic with relationship people? Everybody has that. Do you know how they just always go on in life and succeed?
Yes.
Why? Because the things you will get relationship in this life.
I do have a friend like that.
Oh.
I said that nobody can network like her.
Oh my God. If you just customer and say, you are going in life now, what can I give you? What can I give you? I said, how can I give you that? You will help you. Just give the person networking skill, how to do networks and keep it relationship. Oh my. Yeah, so on street level, relationship.
But have you been able to? I don't know if you look like a rich kid, or so me. I don't know if you've ever actually been in this situation that you're talking about. So if so, have you really?
So,
And how did you get out?
so I grew up all kinds of ways. I grew up all kinds of ways. I grew up rich. I grew up poor. But I've had all the experiences. I'm telling you. I mean, so I've had situation in my life where I was just practically disowned. So yeah.
Bad boy.
I've been there. I've had to pay my own school fees by myself because I don't want to prove a point. So I can say that I can speak to it. Practically, what I did or what I would advise is hard work. You have to be diligent. You have to be able to look. Let me tell you, I was making barbecue, chicken barbecue. I was making barbecue.
As a business.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was making asun. I was in school, but when I leave school, and then I will now go, printed a card, I will now go to all the event centers in Ibadan, all the major ones, and ask for their manager. And I give them my card and say, I do asun. When people come here to book for event, tell them that you have an asun guy. Any amount that they give me, you have a cut. And so I had gigs. Asun gigs. I was doing, you finish better with penny in your hand, though, like, that kind of thing. But I made sweet asun. My French brother, my brother had a friend who could bake. It was really good. Yeah. So when I went to go and live with him, and I learned how to bake. So when fun fact. One time I went to UCH. UCH is the big hospital in Ibadan, and then nursing, they have a nursing school, so you say. And then somebody called me and said, oh, yeah, where you make cakes, and then say, make this birthday cake for me. And then I went to deliver. And then when I got to deliver, the cake was so sweet. It was a chocolate cake, it was really nice. And then the ladies were like, the nurses were like, oh, I like how you can bake. Let me see. Yeah, so I got so like, so yeah, no, everybody loves it. Anyways, but I don't bake anymore. I don't, yeah. Anyway, point is, so I stayed with him, learned how to bake, and I was baking. After a while, baking is intensive, right? And when you want to do really well, you have to reinvest your money back into the tools and the tools and the tools. So I wasn't having so much profit. I was having profit, but I needed money. So you know what I did? So sometimes I would bake, and then I told all the other bakers I know how to make boxes.
Okay.
And then so I make boxes for people. So so
You're quite resourceful.
you just have to be diligent. That's what I would advise. There's no other way. Even if you want to do fraud, working boys don't sleep. You have to be bombing. You have to check. You have to follow up.
That's why they have their HK schools.
Exactly. So people who do illegal stuff, they are diligent. So you that now want to do legal stuff, by the way, Satan is working against you. Yeah, because I don't want to prove that you can do legal things and have fun. So you not don't want to be diligent. So on the street level, and even on you say it now, you guys work if you want chop, you guys work, So that's first level. Second level is now to layer that work with sense. Because if my job was to dig wells, and you pay me 50,000 or 8,000 to dig a well, how many well will I dig to make 800K? So digging one will give me money to it, yes. But now I have to be sensible. So now put sense. Sense on it now means register a well digging company and gather all the other people that dig well. So that now I don't have to dig, so that I can get 10 people digging, and then there's 10 digging going on. And then so you have to layer it with sense. So yeah, and people have that sense, they just don't apply it. Or people maybe don't want to apply it. Either ways, on a street level, anything that you are doing can multiply. That's what I love most about life. If you want it, anything that you are doing can multiply. You know what? I started by saying anybody can succeed. So yeah. So I'm saying that the things that God has put into principles, they just exist. Multiplicity is a natural principle. You put rats in this house, small rats. You go, come back, they become 6. You go again, come back, they are 12. Yeah. So leave things. Oh, there's a weed in front of your house. You didn't know it. Before you know it, the whole place is bushy. So multiplicity, you have to know that turn around your hand can multiply.
It's the basic principle.
Yeah. Then you just apply it. Really. Easier said than done, no. Because if it was easy, everybody would be rich. So you have to decide, yeah, do I want to be poor because it's difficult to be rich? Or do I want to be rich? So it still comes down to choices.
So speaking of the whole, cutting things down and making decisions to get yourself out of poverty, I don't know, I have this spray who keeps telling me that, if he didn't have a babe, by now, who is Dangote? Like, I don't know. I was just laugh and say, this one is just yanning. But do you really think he plays a factor? And in what direction?
Have you noticed that I rarely have yes and no answers?
Yes, you are just a politician.
No, it's not even wanted to be. Because life is never straight line.
Okay. I agree.
It's just never. I want it to be. I like black, white. It just never happened. So many gray areas. So yeah. So to answer your question, yes and no. Okay. So and I don't even know how to explain the dynamics, but I mean everybody will understand. Really, I think everybody will understand if we are honest with ourselves. So to stay in context, so that my 250,000 naira, I'm not giving my mommy 20,000 naira. But if I have a girl, I want to give her 50,000 naira.
Shame on you.
Does it make sense to? Does it make sense?
It doesn't actually.
Exactly. But that's how it happens. People give girlfriends who have no value to their life more money than they give their mothers. Is that not madness? That has to be madness. That has you are a lady, so it may not sound really nice to you. But think about it. Say you find out that all the time that your brother was balling, he was giving money to one girl. And not you. Doesn't not even say mommy.
Not me. Oh,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm not going to be upset about it.
So you're just going to be okay with.
I'm not hungry. I mean,
The girl is not hungry.
so
Sweet.
yeah, but I kind of understand. Oh no, but my brothers love me.
Yeah, but that's my point. I mean, I just keep that.
I'm just saying, to some extent, I do expect that if you're in a romantic relationship, I'm not saying because you said you're being 200.
No, you know the funny thing. No,
200.
I have to, and I look. Let me. I want to put this. I have to put this in proper perspective because I love women. I like the female gender. So I'm serious pro women, right? But women need men who have sense. Yeah. So we have to make sure. So we have to make sure that men have sense.
Okay.
Where I'm coming from, let me tell you. I was 15, and then my dad were in a car. He was driving. We're going, and he asked me, "Do you have a girlfriend?" Oh yeah, and I thought, let me not tell him I have a girlfriend though, because I have.
15. I'm
You know,
not.
so I said, no, I don't have. I said, oh, so I should clap for you. I say, oh, my son at 15 does not have a girlfriend though.
You're young though.
And I said, I have. And I said, hey, that's it. What's her name? I told him his name. Told him her name. And then I said, do you buy things for her? I thought, no, I don't buy things for her. And I said, you mean you don't buy things for her? You don't buy chocolates? I said, eh. And so I said, oh, I buy this for her. Yeah, because I do buy this for her. That's why I set up. Yeah, I'm not prepared for it. Yeah, I wasn't even prepared,
Anything you say.
Yeah, so I said, hey. And I said, okay, remind me to increase your pocket money because now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I said that to let you know. I said that to let you know where I'm coming from. So I'm pro spend money, but have money.
Don't spend what you don't have.
Yeah. So every time in life, there's always going to be seed and fruit.
Yeah.
So if you are at seed stage, you now have girlfriend, you're not spending your seed on the girl. You can't even ball any girl on seeds. You can only ball girls on fruit, like profits. Yeah, exactly. So eventually, that girl that you spend seed for will still leave you because that guy who was keeping his own seed and planting and replanting will now have more. She will leave you for him.
You see, I agree with you, but do you know that is the guy's okay?
He's the guy first now. He's the one that is stupid.
I just feel like
that's
the time
He's the one that is stupid. Now he's his fault now.
guys will give you the impression that it's fruits they are spending. You would even know that in a bid to impress you or whatever, he's now spending his seed. Then by the time seed runs out, else the money they are after. As the money ran out, she left. You misled her.
That's the point. So I'm saying as a guy, let your hair be correct. Don't mislead anybody. You don't have it. Stay. Don't look. And the balance is don't be with a girl that can also not speak the love language that she says she has. Don't be with a girl that wants to receive a love language that she cannot give.
I agree.
Yeah. If maybe you are not loved at home, Sha. Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe you're not loved at home because tell me, look. It's even now things are even really, really bad. So horrible now. I pity people who go into relationship a lot of it because I don't even know how you do it.
That's why I'm enjoying single.
Because look, okay, so say you are a guy, first of all, I'm not saying don't have game. I'm not saying use money. No, I'm saying just funny thing. The people who have money spend less. Always. It's just life principle. Do you remember that?
So that's how the rich stay rich.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you have, you don't have to impress. You don't have to spend to impress because you have. Because you took time and pain to have so that you don't have to lose. So if you don't take time and pain to have, then you now spend what you do not have to impress, and then you're in penury. So I don't even have a problem with any lady. That's why I gave that background, right? But so now, do you want to? Have you ever seen Atedola or Dangote say, "We don't come in and say, I'm just feeling like pack money inside this lorry, go and pour it into a river." Have you ever seen that happen?
Of course not.
Exactly. So even people who are rich don't waste money. And waste is sometimes waste is beautiful now.
Are you sure this wasting doesn't have to do with how you got the money? I've heard of public officials buying houses for girls in Metama and Asokoro.
I use proper example now. I use proper example. People have problems now, right? People have problems. Yeah. We once had an IG of police that stacked fiscal cash inside rooms and things like that, sockaways and things like that. So that happens.
These ones are out of
yeah. So know what stage that you are.
key.
Yeah, and decide. I think that pastors tell you that God did not give Adam Eve until he had the garden. They have a point. Adam had to have it.
Never heard that before.
Oh yeah, they say it. I've had it, and I agree. It's logical. That's part of. So if you don't have a garden that brings fruit,
Yeah.
you don't have a girl. It's come to eat the fruit.
Okay, but you have a girl, but not the one that wants to finish the fruit.
Have a girl that can use the fruit to make nice things too. Mm. Yeah, but really. So the balance is, look, you can have a girl, but you know what funny thing? Be honest. You said it. Be honest. Be honest now. You can meet a girl and say, girl, I like you, but we can't be in a relationship. Clear. So that even you can be la. I say, hello, Mata. I did broke. Oh." Yeah, why? Because you have been honest from I say, look, as you are like this, any man that marries will be lucky. But I'm not that man.
Yeah.
Me, I'm not that man, no.
I've actually been in situations.
Yeah. So I say, Mata, do you have 2,000 naira there? And the man has to take. Because you also have a particular value that your friendship now. You can't always be take. It has to be give and take. So maybe, So maybe there's something you do for Mata. Maybe you help Mata with some of her designs, some of it. Maybe when you make Mata has a PowerPoint design, you send me now, I'll make it now. So you have your own value, Yeah. But at least be honest. So that if you not Mata, and then I say, let's go for dinner. Then you now take a matter for dinner with money that you don't have. Yeah, so it's not going to be Matta's fault, right? So first of all, be honest. So it does not mean that you even have female friends. But if you're honest, you don't buy what you can't afford. You don't say, okay, now let's do romantic relationship. How do you want to do romance? If you cannot facilitate romance costs money. Yes, and
Thank God you said.
you know why this is interesting, eh? Ladies don't know that it costs money because just like it's just like basically, when are you taking me out? What do you mean am I taking you out? Like, we can't go out without money.
I won't know. The women are aware of. I just feel, that's why it may sound like a cliche, but sometimes when people say this whole, a girl that really loves you will not, she will, I don't want to say have pity,
Yeah.
but she's actually conscious, maybe be more conscious of your pocket than you. She's not going to want. But that's the real girl. That's why I would say that one is girl that loves you.
Yeah.
Not the girl that you had disturbed being talking stage with. That your pocket doesn't concern her.
Thank you, Mata. So don't disturb girls. Because now you disturb them and they'll now bring billing. Now me saying they like money. Don't disturb girls now if you don't have money that you want. And don't try to make a girl like you. Find out if a girl likes you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you should be doing. You should be fine. Okay, so fun fact. I was telling, I think it was before the show. I was gisting about some of my friends saying, "Oh, you have your way with girls. How do you do it?" It was no. Really, this is not even about me. Really,
Let me tell you anything.
yeah, but you had to. a lot of you had a lot of things going on with your body language. I had all of them. I didn't even say anything. So here's my point. I remember that I used to tell them that, look, I don't do it the way you guys do it. I don't go make a girl like me. Why do you want to go and make a girl like you when you're not a demon, when you're not an evil spirit? It is evil spirit that possess people and make people do things they don't want to do. So what you want to find out is what the person wants to do. AKA, does she like me? Now, of course, she does not know you before, so she's not going to like you before she knows you. Good. So,
Of course.
so your job is to help her get to know you. And then give her weeks or months for her to decide whether she likes you. Likes who you are, not what you can give her or do for her. Yes, there will be what you can do for her. There will be what you should do for her. There will be what you will do for her. No doubt. But you have to first find out if she likes who you are. And she cannot like who you are if she does not see you. So you have to first find out, does she see me? Yeah, and then you take it from there. So you now see a girl now. You are walking with you now see a girl now. And then you now gonna be following the girl. You have to and then you say, you have to like me, you have to like me, you have to like me. And then
I don't even do that. They just keep throwing money at you.
that's good now.
They
Yeah,
go,
no,
like
sure.
you said, sometimes it's their seed they are throwing.
Yeah. And then women don't even necessarily like it because of money. Women like money, yes, separately, but they don't have to like you because of your money. Yeah. Just the way you can smell now. Yeah. As much as they say women like money, there are women who reject gifts from certain men now. Yeah. So it's not even I'm not even a proponent of women are good diggers or women can refuse things.
I love that.
Yeah, I know I've seen women refuse. I say I don't want it. Yeah.
Okay, so I think your basic message has just been about like women, don't overdo. But I think you've actually taught us so much today, how to violently get out of poverty, talked about spiritual aspect to it, and then this whole relationship thing. I think that one was just so practical. But any last words?
No, I'm good. I'm happy I came. This was really nice.
Honestly, it was
really nice. Thank you for having me.
having you. Thank you everyone for listening. So we'll see you the next time we go off script with Dr. Ayo. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.